What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. My name is Justin, and you're here with JustInkD. If you're new to the channel, welcome. In this channel, we pretty much talk about all things that are tattoo related, my journeys into getting tattoos, and my personal experiences and opinions on certain topics. So I am so excited to do this video just because, it is a new year, it's a new decade, we're in 2020, and a lot of people have started off this year by making a resolution to quit smoking. Now, as you see from my title, I quit smoking by accident. And it was by accident, but it was one of the best things that I ever did and had to stick with. So I'm going to teach you and tell you how I started smoking, how I quit smoking, and all the benefits that have come along with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's go. So I'm going to bring you guys back to when I started and first started smoking. So when I was 15, 16, about grade 9, 10, I got introduced to the lifestyle of smoking weed. Now, I didn't smoke a lot of weed, but I did smoke it fairly often. It was just something, that everybody thought was cool at the time. It was a fun thing to do with your friends. So I was introduced to that kind of smoking early on in. Now, as I started getting older, maybe into grade 10, 11, I started switching over onto Captain Blacks. I had those for a while, and again, it was a fun aspect to do with my friends. It was like a social thing. And then I got into cigarettes. So I got into cigarettes at the end of grade 10 and going into grade 11. So I think I was, 16, 17? And I remember my first time I smoked. It was with my best friends at the time. And one of them still my best friend. And it was funny because they were sitting on their porch having a smoke. They smoked at the time. I didn't. So my buddy, his name's Christian, he went in. He had to go inside to get something. And he told me to hold the cigarette. So I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll hold the cigarette. So I was holding it in my hand. And the whole time I'm holding it, my other buddy, Justin, looks at me and he's like, why don't you take a pull? And you know what? I'm like, you know what? What's one pull going to do to me? What's one pull? And that was like literally the downfall right there. But I didn't think anything of it at that moment. So I said, fuck it, yeah, let's go. And I will never forget that feeling of that high, that head rush I got from that first pull. I'm telling you, it was, and I'm still going to say it was one of the best feelings I've ever had. I was lightheaded. I had to sit down because I was so lightheaded. And after that, I started to chase that head rush feeling. So after I had that first one, it really just started to increase in the amount I started smoking. Now, I didn't go from smoking that one pull to a pack a day. It was incremented over time. It went from a pull a day to about maybe once a week to twice a week to 3 times a week. And then again, I'll never forget the first pack I ever bought. It was the downfall right there. And it was for a party. It was funny because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop bumming them off people. I had about, I don't know, 5, 6, but I kept that pack on me. So now, throughout the weeks, I would carry smokes with me. And when I was craving one, and that's a big word, craving, because I started craving them at this point, it started going downhill from there. So I started smoking more and more and more. By the, I would say, 6 month mark in grade 11, I was at a pack a day smoking, and I was addicted at this point. I knew I was addicted, and I really didn't care. Because what's funny is I enjoyed everything that smoking did. I enjoyed the social aspect that came along with it. You can go out, talk to people, and then also the little more things that people may think are disgusting. I enjoyed the smell of it. I enjoyed, the motion of it. I enjoyed the breathing out and seeing the smoke, doing tricks with the smoke. Everything I loved about it was perfect. So I'm like, you know what? I am a smoker. I didn't really care. I accepted it, and I accepted that is who I was going to be. But then it started really taking a toll on my living aspects. My breathing was going down. My smell was almost gone. I have bad smell to begin with, and when I was smoked, I had nothing. And then, my teeth started getting yellower. My taste went. There's just so many bad things that come along with smoking, but we ignore them because we are addicted. Let me know if you guys have quit, or if you're trying to quit right now in the comments. Let me know what types of quitting you've done. Have you quit cold turkey, patches, vaping, just cutting down in increments? Let me know what you guys did, because I want to hear your story as well. And I'm sure a lot of people are looking for other people's stories in the comments that are watching this video to help them out too. So let me get to how I quit. So like I said, I quit smoking by accident, and that is because I had an operation done. I had jaw surgery on my whole jaw. I had it pretty much brought forward. I had a big overbite, so I brought it forward, and it was a big operation. And there was just a lot of cuts. There was a couple cuts in the mandible, and also you had a lot of cuts in the gums, and it was just it was a mess. I learned from my past experiences because in grade 12, when I was about 17, 18, I had another surgery done to prep for this one. It was to get pretty much 6 teeth taken out. So I had all my wisdom teeth taken out. I had the 4 wisdoms, and then I had my two bottom canine teeth taken out as well. And that was just pretty much to make room for the whole operation and set everything up so everything would go perfectly. And I remember I was an idiot when I was young. I went and right after I had my operation done, I had cuts all in my mouth. I went and started smoking. And I was very lucky. I was an idiot, but I was very lucky I didn't get any infection from doing that, because that is a very bad thing to do. Smoke, get all those chemicals, everything into your mouth while all the cuts are still there, especially in your mouth of all places. So for this operation, I really want to be a little more mature about it. And I thought to myself, it's only going to be about a week, they said, of post-op recovery. And I thought I'm like, what, I can do a week. I can do a week without not smoking. So the operation went. It was funny enough. It was on my birthday. So the operation was a success. Everything went to plan. And I left the hospital about, I think, 3-4 days. And by that time, my headaches were starting to come from the withdrawal of nicotine. But I wasn't really too concerned because I knew I was going to get it eventually in a couple days. So I was like, no, whatever, I'll deal with it. I already have enough pain. I got pain meds, so I'm good with this. But what happened, and what I honestly thank God this happened, is I had an infection that ended up happening on one of my cheeks, and there was something in there that it got infected. So I had to go back to the doctors and show them that this infection is really, my whole face was swollen on one side. And what ended up happening was I had to go back in for an operation again. So 2 weeks in, I had to, have 2 operations done because the infection had to go in and get rid of the infection. So I thought, okay, that's it. You know what? After the 2 weeks is done, I'm really stressing now because I just had 2 operations done in 2 weeks, and I was just ready to have a smoke. So then again, stayed in the hospital for a day or two, left, and what happens again? I get another infection on the same side. Now I'm fucking pissed because that's the third that I go in. I tell them again. I'm like, yo, what is this? What's going on? They told me, they're like, we got to go in for another operation and clear whatever's in there. So they went in again and they really looked in this time, and they found little bits of bone, I think they found, were in there, and that was aggravating it and making it infected. So they went in and cleared it out. So now I'm pretty much 3 weeks in after all these operations. So I had 3 operations done in 3 weeks, and my mouth's still all cut up, so I couldn't end up having to smoke this whole time. But it also kind of motivated me because I also realized, what? I just made it 3 weeks without having smoke. And they always say, the saying is, it takes 21 days to break a habit. Now, they may not be true, but I followed that, and I knew I hit 21 days. And I'm like, oh my God, I can do this. Maybe I can quit smoking. I've tried in the past, it never worked, but this time it's a little different. This time it was kind of cold turkey. I haven't had one yet. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let's set a month goal. And that's what I did. So I set a month goal, and I fucking hit it, and I was so happy. I was so happy. But I'm going to tell you guys one little trick that I learned and I used, and it was from my phone. It's an app I downloaded. It is called, I'm going to look on right now. So the app's called Quit Pro. It's a very simple app in terms of it gives you just simple breakdowns. It gives you how many days you've quit, how many cigarettes you haven't smoked, how many cigarettes you have smoked, maybe you've caved in, how much life game you've saved, and how much money you've saved. Now, when I first started, I was pretty interested in just saving money. And that was my main thing I saw and I wanted. So when I saw how much I saved in just a month, and I want to let you guys know, I was paying about $10 to $11 a pack a day. So that was about $300 something a month. And when I saw that number hit, I was just astonished. I'm like, am I actually spending this much money on smoking? I couldn't believe it when I actually saw it. And, I started using that as motivation. Now, another big thing to quitting smoking, guys, it is setting goals for yourself. Now, this is the one I live by to this day, and I still continue to do it. Now, when I hit my first month, I was ecstatic. I was so happy because, it was a goal I hit that I really didn't think I was going to do or planned on doing. And then, a month in, I was like, okay, that was pretty easy. Let me hit 2 months. And then, you know what happened? I hit it. And then I said, okay, I can do that. Let me hit 3 months. And I hit it. But then I started making it a little harder. I didn't want to go month by month anymore because I knew, you know what? I'm going to just look forward to that. It's something too easy for me. I want it, and I started going for even more. So instead of 3 months and going to 4 months, I went and said, you know what? Let's do 6 months. And guess what? I fucking hit it. And when I hit 6 months, I can't tell you, I was on a roll. Like I was, you know what? I still had those cravings. I still had I was still, I still say I was addicted, but I knew my willpower and my goals were just like, my mindset was just focused. And that's what I want you guys to do too. Just focus on those goals of hitting them. Because when you hit them, I'm telling you, it is so worth it. And how you feel about yourself is so good. So then after 6 months, I said, you know what? Let's go for a year. And I did it. And when a year hit, I'm like, all right, I know I'm done. I'm no longer addicted. I am in a good place right now. My mindset, my mentality, everything is on the right track. And then I just went for the big one. I didn't do a year and 6 months. I went for 2 years. So this was a longer goal I really had to wait for. And I guess what? I did it too. And then you know what? After that, I just started setting a year goal for every time. Now, I'm going to be hitting 5 years soon, and that's going to be a huge one for me. And maybe after that, I may not hit 6 goals for a year. I may put 10. And I think I might do that to really push the goal up and make it something that's so hard that you may not think is achievable, but I know I will achieve it, and I will get it. So that's one thing I really want to stress to you guys is, download the app and you see your progress, but also set these goals for your personal self. And once you achieve them, I can't tell you enough how good it feels. Now, another thing I'm going to tell you guys, and you guys are going to hate it, is you got to know yourself. Now, I know myself, and I know if I go and have a smoke, if I have, a pull of a vape, a pull of any like a weed, like a joint, I know that it's going to set me back dramatically because I know I'm addicted to partially that motion. I'm seeing smoke and everything, and I just don't want to ruin everything I've worked so hard for. So I haven't to this day smoked a single cigarette. As you see, it says zero there smoked. I haven't taken a pull from a joint. I haven't taken a pull from a vaping machine, and nothing. I have been smoke free, no clouds, nothing coming out. And I just know myself it's the best thing for me. Now you guys got to know yourselves too. Like maybe I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, I can have a smoke here and there. It won't do anything." You know what? That's up to you. I would say personally, don't do it. Just it takes about 2 to 3 minutes for a craving to pass. So if you can withstand and like withhold yourself from doing anything in those minutes, your mind will forget about it and you're on to something else. Now it may come back again in maybe an hour, but just again push it for another 2 minutes, and you guys got this. I'm telling you guys, you can do this. Now I know how I have a couple here. Let me know in the comments too what you guys have done maybe to quit smoking. I know these are just some ways. Let me know if there's another app maybe you guys have used. I know this one's just a generic one. I can't even find it on the App Store, but I know I've had it for 5 years almost on my phone, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. But let me know what app you guys have. And then one more thing, guys, also, and this is probably the biggest one in terms of your lifestyle, it is to break those habits. Now, I can't tell you enough, when I was smoking, I would go and I'd have one right away when I woke up. I'd go have one right when I had a coffee, after coffee, before work, after work, before sex, after sex, didn't matter when. I had these certain rituals where I'd have a smoke, and it was just embedded in my brain to have one. I wouldn't even notice. Before I noticed I had a smoke in my hand, I'm like, oh shit. But it was just normal for me to do that motion at that time or at that spot. So you guys really got to change where you go and how you act. And it's just like, if you're driving somewhere, take a different route where your brain's not mentally stimulated by, say, that building where you know you're going to have a smoke at, like when you pass that building. Or don't go out. Like, I don't drink anymore. And I was never a big drinker to begin with, but I don't drink at all now because, you know, I stopped drinking because I knew if I had a drink and I got drunk, that's one big thing a lot of people fall into. It's, I'm going to have a smoke when I'm drunk. They don't think anything of it, but you're just digging yourself a bigger hole. So I knew that that would be something that would probably make me want to smoke. So I stopped doing that too. And it was another great decision that I made, and it has helped in where I'm at today because now I no longer smoke, I no longer drink, so I save money and all sorts of that. And then my lifestyle, my mentality, everything is just so much better. It is a very, very hard thing to do. It's the hardest thing that I've ever done, and it's the one thing that I am so proud though that it's my biggest accomplishment in my life that I've done is to quit smoking. One last thing I also want to mention is you gotta want to quit for yourself. You can't quit for somebody else. Like, I had my parents tell me I had to quit. I had my girlfriend at the time, tell me she wanted me to quit, and you know I tried, but I always failed because it was never for anybody. It was never for me. It was always for somebody else, and that was never really a motivation. I know maybe for some people that's different, but for most, it's not going to work. It has to be for yourself. Now, I tried many different things. I tried the patches. I tried, you know, the vaping, cutting down on that. I tried just reducing my smokes per day, and it never worked for me. The only thing that really worked for me, and I'm going to really try to stress to you guys, is go cold turkey. Cold turkey worked for me, and it has worked for many, many other people that I've talked to. I know, and you guys can do it too. Try it out. It is hard, but again, you can do it if you put your mind to it and you do all these steps that I told you. The physical things you get from quitting smoking is, one, your teeth go, they don't turn yellow. You get taste back. You get smell back. Your breathing, you're more physically active. You feel better. But the one thing I want to say is probably the most. Also, you smell better. You don't smell bad to other people as much as they say, oh, I don't really smell much. You smell like shit. I smell it now, and it smells bad. But the best thing that comes to mind for me when I quit smoking is my mentality and how free I am from quitting smoking. My mind is no longer fixated on when's my next smoke gonna be, or do I have a lighter, or where's my pack of smokes. My mind is no longer fixated on that. I'm no longer mad about anything. I'm no longer thinking at work, oh shit, am I gonna get caught or am I gonna get in trouble because I'm on another smoke break when I just had one 30 minutes ago. My mind's clear now. I don't think about it anymore. It's an even better feeling to be just mentally free of all that and just go on your day without any of that to like really bother you. So that is the main thing I really want to say I got from all this. And then also, you know, saving the money. You see how much money I saved? That is great. All that money I saved, I put towards, you know, my tattoos. I love my tattoos. So the amount of lives that I've saved too, that I don't know how accurate that is, but you know, to know I'm saving myself too in the future is just, it's something you really can't put a price on later on. And I really hope you guys can do this, and I hope I motivated you to do this. So I really hope you guys are successful in this new year on quitting smoking. I tried to release this as soon as possible. I was a little sick, so I couldn't get this right off on January 1st, but I want you guys to know that you guys can do it no matter how many people say you can't, and no matter how much you say you can't. Set those goals. Download that app. You know, break those habits, and you know, fixate yourself around people that are willing to motivate you. All those things will help you get to your goal and achieve what you think is unachievable. So I really hope you guys like this video, and like always guys, Justin out. Have a good day, guys.